I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. This topic comes from my 30 plus years of business, sales, and freight moving success. Watch, learn, and apply it. You'll move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. And call me at 626-309-9141 with any questions. Now explode your business with... Guys, hello and welcome to my Tuesday conference call. Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. Today, I'll show you how to move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly so you make more money financially. And after the call today, go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, to hear more of my podcasts, read more of my blog posts, watch more of my videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. And if you have any questions today, any questions regardless of what it is, or specifically, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training, then give me a call, Ted Keys. I'm at 626-309-9141. Today's training topic is never say this to freight prospects. Never say this to freight prospects. So again, for those of you that are on my email contact list already and that you've received that email invite to the call today, just scroll down to any one of those invites that I sent you today, and we're going to go over our free attachments today. There's a total of 7 of them. Again, explaining never say this to freight prospects. Never say this to freight prospects. And when I say this, I mean this. Never say this particular statements to your freight prospects, because one of the most important things you will learn and must do in this profession or any other sales profession is not only make contact with the marketplace. That's the first thing you have to do. Make contact with the marketplace, get through to the shipping decision maker, ask him a series of questions, receive his email address so you can make contact with him. But what you have to do after that is you have to follow up with your shipping decision maker, not only with him, but on every shipping decision maker that you get on your contact list. You must follow up with them, because it's through the follow-up that you will get the opportunity to move their freight. Let me give you that statistic again. For those of you that think, hey, I've called this guy 2-3 times. 80% of your sales success will happen between your 5th and your 12th contact. I mean, it's a simple statistic. And once you ingrain it into your mind, you're not going to have a problem, because you just know that, hey, this guy is not giving me the opportunity yet. I'm not on his list. Well, just be aware, you've got to make contact more than just 2 or 3 times, because like I said, 80% of your sales will happen between your 5th and your 12th contact. And again, that's provided that you're doing it successfully. So let's go back to doing it successfully and following up successfully. I can tell you this, if you keep doing what I'm going to talk about today, you won't be successful. Okay? So let's talk about today, and let's talk about why, or let's talk about why you should never say this statement that I'm going to go over to your freight prospects. So let's talk about it. And let me just start off by saying that one of your main priorities, as I said earlier, beyond making contact, this is the second main priority that you have to do, and that is to follow up with your freight prospects after you first contact them. So what am I talking about when I say never say this to your freight prospects? Well, here we go. Never say this statement to your freight prospect when you follow up with them, and that is, I'm just touching base. I'm just touching base. I mean, when you think of it, it is for the silliest words that you can say to somebody that you're actually going to do business with in the near future. So why would you not say, I'm just touching base? Well, let me give you the first reason. all right, with "I'm just touching base." I mean, this is like one of the most lamest statements you can make to your freight prospects. Why would you not use that statement, "I'm just touching base"? Well, the first reason is you're putting the pressure on your freight prospect to actually have a conversation with you, all right? "Hey, Chris. Hey, Dan. Hey, Steve. Hey, calling, just touching base with you." I mean, what can your prospect do with that? First of all, you're not asking them a question. You're not asking them, "Hey, what's moving today? Do you have anything for me to work on today?" All you're saying is, "I'm just touching base." Where's that going to get you? So first of all, you're putting pressure on your freight prospect to actually have a conversation with you. And really, what can he do with it? What can she do with "I'm just touching base"? I mean, do you think that they're going to actually go back and look at their notes and say, "Yeah, let me, gee, I really like this Ted guy here. I've only spoken to him once, but I like him. Let me go out of my way to keep a conversation go with him." So that's the first reason. You're putting the pressure on your freight prospect to actually have a conversation with you. So that's the first reason why you don't use that statement. The second reason is it's because the success of your follow-up call, all right, the success of every follow-up call you do is in direct relation to the success of your previous call, all right? The success of your follow-up call, let me say that again, it's in direct relation to what you did on the previous call. So during, all right, and again, you gotta keep this in mind as you're doing this. During that first call, you've got to nail down what happens next before hanging up the phone with your freight prospect and getting a commitment that both your prospect will do something, all right? Your prospect is going to do something, and then you'll do something as a result of your last call. And let's just say you just had your first call with them, and we're making call number 2 and just following up with them. So in reality, during that first call, let me say it again, you've got to nail down what happens next before hanging up the phone with your freight prospect and getting a commitment, okay? Getting a commitment that both your freight prospect will do something and then you'll do something as a result of your last call. So after you've established those clear steps during that first conversation, you can then say in your follow-up call with your freight prospects, here's an example, okay? And again, I'm talking to my freight prospect. I'm going to say, "Hey, Ted," let's just say his name is Ted. "I'm calling to continue our conversation." All right, I'm not just saying I'm just touching base. What's up? I'm going to actually say, "Hey, Ted, I'm calling to continue our conversation from last week where we discussed me meeting your freight requirements." So I'm refreshing his memory as to why I'm calling. "You're going to review the information that I sent you. Do you have any questions on the information that I did send you? And based on that, will you drop me on your email freight list?" Okay, as I said earlier, hey, if he drops you on there, take heed, okay? He may be dropping a lot of other people on there that get a hold of him. Or is he resisting? And if he is resisting, why is he resisting? Obviously, there's something beyond the example that I just gave you that's making your freight prospect resist. However, let me just repeat what you're to say as I did here in my example here. "Hey, Ted, I'm calling to continue our conversation from last week where we discussed meeting your freight requirements." Meeting your freight requirements. Again, it's not about me. It's all about your prospect. "You are going to review the information I sent you. Do you have any questions on the information? And based on that, will you put me on your email freight list?" Now, when you join our highly productive office, I actually give you, for those of you that are aware of this and that you're freight agents, I actually give you a copy of that first email that you're to send to your freight prospects for the first time. So really, you take that email, you gear it to your prospect, and you call a couple days later, a week later, and basically you repeat this response here that I just gave you. I mean, it's really that simple when you become an agent with our office. However, And let's just keep going on here. On your follow-up calls, remember, very important, remember that your freight prospects are likely not doing any pre-call planning like you are, okay? Just bear in mind, just because you say you're Ted from Logistic Dynamics, don't expect your freight prospect to jump up and down and say, hey, oh boy, man, I've been waiting for you to call me. Hey, you are the furthest thing from his mind or her mind. So as I said, don't expect them to be expecting your call. It's just not going to happen. So they're not going to be doing any pre-call planning. So don't assume that they're in the same frame of mind as you when the time for your call rolls around. Again, don't expect them to be waiting for your call. It's just not going to happen. When you call them the first time, and even if you made a great impression, high probability that the thought of you is nowhere in their mindset. That's why you have to keep following up. You've got to keep putting thoughts in their mind that will make them that will remind them of you. That's what follow-up is. It's also you again showing them how reliable and professional you are. Assume that they won't, and as I was talking about earlier, just assume that they won't remember you at all. Then make a point to briefly review where you left your previous conversation, okay? Let me give you a couple of examples here. Ted, last time we spoke, you showed interest in our freight service. Let me say it again. Ted, last time we spoke, you showed interest in our freight service. Real simple, real common. Or, Ted, calling to continue our conversation from last week where we had discussed moving your freight, and you were going to do X. You were going to, hey, it could have been receive my information and go over it. You said that you were going to go over it. Did you receive it? Did you go over it? What did you think of my information? Again, it's us always asking the questions, guys. So hang tight here. So by following these simple rules, you'll never have to touch base with anyone again. Even though you're doing it, don't say it. I'm calling to touch base. As I said earlier, think if somebody called you, okay? It's like saying, what's up, all right? Again, you're calling a prospect and saying, hey, what's up? Do you really think that, that they're going to want to spend time generating a conversation with you? No, it's not going to happen. 1 in 100 will. Are you willing to go through the list of 100 to make it happen? I doubt not. So let's keep touching base. Let's keep touching base on the baseball and softball fields, guys, and not in our freight sales follow-up. So, quick review on this. Don't ever use the phrase, I'm just touching base with your freight prospects. One, when you do it, it puts pressure on them, okay? Second reason is because you're not doing this effectively. When you had your first call with them, you were going to make sure that they were going to receive your information, just as an example, or they were going to do something else. You follow up to see that they did that, whatever it is, received your information, did they go over it? That's the great way to start. But you never, ever, ever call to just touch base with anybody, or certainly as with your freight prospects in this profession. So, never say that to your freight prospects. I'm just touching base. Get it out of your system. Hey, when you receive my Freight Sales Success Guide, whether you purchase it or you join our office, you'll never see that in there, to follow up and say, I'm just touching base. So great topic today. Never say that to your freight prospects. Just don't ever say it. Do it the right way. When you do it the right way, then your pipeline won't be broken. Because if you keep doing it, then your pipeline is broken. They're just not going to deal with you if you just keep calling and say, hey, touching base, hey, what's up? Thinking that just because you're calling, they're going to stop and bow down to you and work with you. It just doesn't happen that way. In wrapping this up, Do you have any questions about what I just went over? Any questions whatsoever, or more specifically, because of the value that you received and what you just got, are you ready to join our top producing freight sales team? I'll say this, I am a freight agent. Not only am I a successful one, but I actually teach the profession. Are you ready to join our top producing freight sales team? Yes? Then give me a call, Ted Keys. I'm at 626-309-9141. Great topic today. Again, never say this to freight prospects. Never say this to freight prospects. Been great talking to you today. I will see you all again next week, same time, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time, on my Tuesday conference call, and it's a free one at that. Take care. God bless. I'll see you again next Tuesday at that same time. Take care. God bless. And bye-bye. When you arrive at my Freight Sales Success Store today, you'll see a host of products available there for purchase. First one you'll see available is my flagship product. That is my Freight Sales Success Guide, typically for beginner and struggling freight agents. If you're searching for that daily motivation to set goals, to achieve them, to pick up the phone daily and connect and build relationships with the marketplace, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Quotes. And if you're searching for those specific skills, and there are many skills, many individual skills required to be successful in this profession, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Skill. I highly recommend each one of these products, available for purchase today in my Freight Sales Success Store. Do you have any questions again? Do you have any questions about today's call? Or more importantly, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training? Then give me, Ted Keys, a call. I'm at 626-309-9141. Great topic for today. Take these skills, apply them. You'll be amazed at what happens to your results.